Hello, everyone. It's Dowsing Rod's time, and the kitty's here. As soon as I turn on the computer, he arrives. Yes. So, it's been a while, and we have so many questions for the Dowsing Rods, do we not? And I invite you to please put your questions in the chat, and I will star them. I have a ton of questions to get through, and some of yours may be the same as mine. Some of them may be different, but we'll go ahead and see what we can do and get through them all. Hi, Craig. Hi, Higher Realms. Good to see you. And the kitty, this cat. I'm going to slide him a little closer. There we go. Hi, Cheryl. Good to see you. Okay. It'll take a minute for Kitty to settle down because he likes to wander around, and before he gets settled, he'll climb on my shoulder, I'm sure. Hi, Gina Lynn, Cheryl. Let's see. So we'll wait for a few more people to show up. I like that Higher Realms Soul Tribe. Yeah, I got your question too. Yes, Kitty is indeed back. Oh, I thought he was going to go over there and snuggle up on the bed, but no. He hasn't settled yet. Hi, Nivra. Good to see you. So I'm going to get my dowsing rods warmed up a little bit. I've asked them already if they're ready to come in. I protect my energy and ours, and I say a quick little prayer, and I ask my guides and angels if they're here and ready to answer questions, and they are ready. Yep. Okay. And thank you. And I ask you please to protect our energy, and all of those are in the chat. There we go. We are being protected. So, as we wait for a few people to come in, I'll start to tell you what sorts of questions I have. Hi, Fatima. Good to see you. I saw. Are you guys going to get some of this snow coming through? I saw there's Midwest and higher snow coming down from Canada and across. Hi, Gina Halleck. Great to see you. Good to see you. So, as we, and I will give more demos of how the dowsing rods work, but just to let anybody know who's new to my channel, when the dowsing rods cross, so like so, they're showing off. That's a yes, and when they go to the outside, that is a no. Okay, I'll straighten them up again. Hi, Melody, from the other side of the world. Nice to see you. So let me tell you what questions I have, and there are, gosh, how do you pick, right? How do you pick in this world? I apologize to all of my friends who are from other parts of the world. I don't have many, I don't have a lot of information. So please put your questions in if you're Canadian, or I know we have somebody who's from down under. Are you, let me just verify. Melody, you're Australia, yes? You're from Australia. But I'll tell you who I've got here really quickly. It seems like, God bless you, you people from other parts of the world. Unfortunately, no, or, respectfully know about everything that's going on here, but with the U.S. And it's because we're loud, and things that are happening here are very, very kind of pushy energy. All right. Yes, Australia. Thank you. Okay. So, that's a good question, Nivra. I will add that to my questions concerning ice and the things happening in Minnesota. Yeah, so I have questions about Jerome Powell, who is the head of the U.S. Federal Reserve, and I'll explain that as we go on. The DoD might be in some trouble for having disguised a plane to look like a civilian plane, which is against the it's an act of, what do they call it? It's a crime. It is a war crime, indeed. I think it's an international war crime. ICE. Okay, so I have a ton of questions about ICE and NIBR. I will just add your question to that. Questions about Venezuela, Greenland, Cuba, and maybe Colombia. I don't know. Iran. I have questions about Iran. Yes, Melody, I'm so sorry. I know. You know that old saying, right? The U.S. What is it? Gets a cold, and the rest of the world gets pneumonia or something like that. It's pretty crazy. Listen, we're feeling it too. We're those of us living in this country are, so Iran, I have questions about the protests in Iran. Hi, Ness. Put your questions, girl. You always have some good ones. I also have questions about Putin, and he's kind of rattling the cage about nuclear capability. That's a good question, Ness. Thank you. And I have questions about Congress, like whether they are going to turn on Donald Trump and start to hold him accountable. There are rumors. So let's see. I'm going to take that. I had something about Tim Walz here, but I will pop it up here with the ICE stuff. Okay. No. Okay. And then last, but certainly not least, of course, more things about the Epstein files, and not the least of which is some really kind of bombshell audio that's come out in an interview by a woman named Lisa Noel Voldang, she conducted a series of interviews last summer with a gentleman named Sasha Riley, who has some very, very inflammatory evidence, testimony against Trump, Epstein, of course, Jim Jordan, Lindsey Graham, Clarence Thomas, what's his name? Anyway, another, ranch activities at one of the Texas ranches, or I don't know where it was. I think they had a bunch of different ones where they would have these just disgusting parties and these were with children. This is obviously with a young man. But also this man alleges not just, sexual encounters, but really demonic kind of activities, like very, very murders, and many murders. These kids were like runaways who were just young kids who were discarded. Anyway, and I will tell you where to look for that, guys. It's really disturbing. If you don't want to see it, don't look, because it's tough. It's tough to read or to listen to. I'm reading it / listening to it on Substack. Okay. Yes, there are bodies, many bodies. It's disgusting stuff of kids, and videos, and like movies taken, snuff films where they're killed. I mean, really bad stuff. Really, really bad stuff. according to this guy's testimony, and there apparently is video evidence, and he speaks of direct evidence against our president, his personal encounters. This young man's father was Epstein's pilot or something like that. Yes. The webs are leaking some really bad stuff about Epstein. And so what I want to say about that, guys, is when this stuff starts leaking, our president does worse and worse things to try to take the attention off of it. So, okay. Kevin and I did a Trump 2026 predictions today. Kevin's card said Epstein files will be the reason. I believe that too. I mean, I believe that very strongly, because the more comes out, and I have always said this to you folks, it's worse than we ever could have dreamed of. It's worse. I mean, if you're a somewhat normal person, I think this stuff is worse than anybody can imagine. Right? All right. So I'll get started. It looks like we've got about, 15 or 20 watching. Hello, if you're new here, I'm Kelly S., the Mystic Next Door. And hi, Peggy. Welcome. And I see your question. I've started. Yes. Ness says, yes, worse than our imaginations can imagine. Yes. It's really, really horrible. And I have also seen multiple times that I'm getting this timeline now of big things hitting the fan in March and April. So I don't know if you're getting the same timeline, Ness, but I feel that that's going to be the big turning point. Very, very messy. All right. Okay, so guys, once again, if you're new here, these are my handy dandy dowsing rods, and the rods like to speak to me in this way. So I will ask them to show off for you and show us a yes, please. Yes, and this is our guides and angels who are leading this. And please show a no. No is out. Okay. Hi, Arl Hope. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Thank you for joining me. If I missed you, welcome. All right, let's ask really quickly, just for fun. Okay, in which direction is my guide who's joining me today? It always goes right over my shoulder here. Always right over my shoulder. And so I wonder if that's kind of a combination of me, my higher self, and any other guides that are supporting me. Okay. And your guides too. Hi, Letting Loose. Good to see you. Thank you, Gina. I didn't see your question, but I have started. Okay. So if anyone has questions, and this happens as I'm doing these, asking these questions, you can go ahead and post them. I will try to catch them. Sometimes it gets started moving a little faster. If you put them in all caps, it does help. Yes, I love that too. I love that, Gina. When they point in the direction of the energy. Okay, so just for those of you who are not Americans or are following the news, Jerome Powell is the head of the U.S. Federal Reserve. And yesterday, the DOJ, Trump's DOJ, in his pocket, announced an investigation into him, which is really unprecedented. They're meant to be independent of the administration. Ooh, I'm getting a ringing in my ears already. They're moving in. Okay, coming closer. Excuse me. And Gary. Hi, Gary. I'm going to start your question real quick. And that is actually, I do have a line of questioning about Iran. So that's perfect. Okay. So I'm going to ask this question. Will the DOJ be allowed to bring Jerome Powell to trial? Look at this. That's a yes. Will the Congress step in to stop it? No, I don't know that they have authority to do that. Will he be found guilty? No. That's a no. Okay. Well, that's encouraging. Got your question, Fatima? Yeah, investigating him because his figures are true. They've made up some garbage about how apparently the Federal Reserve was renovating some buildings, and Trump tried to fake it. He wants Jerome Powell out. That's the bottom line, because Jerome Powell didn't lower interest rates when Trump wanted him to, and Jerome Powell was trying to sort of manage inflation and all those other things. So he didn't lower the interest rates. And then, so Trump is in his usual fashion, is trying to find other things. So they're saying that he lied about the cost or whatever of the renovations to these buildings. They're saying he lied to Congress. Okay. And hi, Amanda, listening in the car at a red light. Yes, good. All right. So it says that it looks like he will go to court they will file a lawsuit, but he will not be found guilty. Okay. Next question I have, and I'm going to get into some of the more interesting stuff in a second here. And welcome. I see 26 people in the room. So if you want to pop your head in the chat and say hello, love to see you here. And I hope that if you like what you find here, you subscribe and hit the like and all the good things. And hi, Susan from New Zealand. Okay. Again, apologies to all of our non-Americans who have to hear about all of our American nonsense. But I am in America. Okay. So DOD, that's Department of Defense. They call it now the Department of War. It looks like Hegseth approved having a military plane painted to look like it was just a civilian plane, and it was used in an attack on a boat. So, which is a war crime. It is a war crime. And there's a name for it, and I can't recall. Hi, Enrique. Okay. So, will DOD be held responsible for having painted this plane? No. Will they later be held responsible for this action? Yes. So it looks like in the short term, they will not be held responsible. Shocker, because there's nobody there, manning the DOJ or the military. Military has been hijacked. Okay. ICE. Moving on to the questions about ICE, and everybody knows what's going on with ICE right now. They're running roughshod over Minneapolis. They killed that woman, Renee Good, and they've also shot and injured several men in Portland, I believe it was. And Kristi Noem is doubling down on the story that this lady they're investigating her for being like part of a terror group or something like that, which is preposterous. First, let's just say, will Minneapolis press charges against Jonathan Ross? That's a yes. Okay. Will he be found guilty of murder? That's a slow yes, but it was a yes, right? So I think that they're really going to have a lot of headwinds in their investigation. ICE is going to block the investigation, right? This is a gruesome question. Hold on, let me turn this a little bit so you can see better. Will Will ICE murder more people in the U.S.? That's a yes. I'm sorry to say. Will ICE raids continue throughout 2026? Will they continue throughout 2026? That's encouraging, guys. Look, that's a no. Okay. Will they continue through the summer? It's a slight yes. So it looks like they're tapering their activities. Any questions to add to it, please? Will they be moving on to other democratically led cities? Will they move on to other democratically led cities? Yes. I'm surprised they haven't been to mine yet. I live in Denver, Colorado. Okay. Will ICE have its powers limited by Congress this year? That's a yes, guys. And I think that there's already some proposed legislation for limiting their role. I don't know if it's actually made it to a vote or anything, but when they change this tactic, they'll try others. That's true. Yes. Will Christy Nome, otherwise known as Cosplay Barbie, will she be held accountable for this action? There's a yes. Oh, it's a big yes, guys. Okay. Will Christy Nome go to jail? Huh. Okay. I wasn't really expecting that, but that was a yes. Yes. Okay, Niver asked the question a little bit differently. Will funding for ICE be limited by Congress? Yes. Yes. And that's what I understand. It would be easy as that, because Trump did this. I think it was put into a big package to give them all this money, but they can come in and override that and limit their reach, their money. Whew. Will Kristi Noem step down this year? That's a yes. Will she be asked to step down? That's a no. So it looks like she'll do it willingly, or at least we won't know about if they asked her to. Will Border Patrol, so ICE and Border Patrol are similar but different. The commander's name is Bovino. If you've seen that jackass swaggering around the cities, he's this little tiny man, and he looks like a caricature of himself. So will he be criminally tried? No. Okay. Well, will he also be leaving this year? Yes. And I think Niver asked this question. Will Tim Wells I can't remember the question exactly. Will Tim Wells was it press charges against ICE? So I asked about Minneapolis, but will Minnesota press charges against? Yes. Tim Walz is the governor of the state of Minnesota. Okay. Peggy asks if ICE is being more violent during cold months because of less protesters. No. Actually, there are more protesters out, to be honest with you. Oh, will he call the National Guard? Thank you. Will Tim Walz call the National Guard on ICE? Oh, that's a big yes. That's a very big yes. Because there are reports that they are kicking in doors and they're dragging people out of their cars and they're grabbing anybody who is of color. You know, they don't really care who you are. If you're white, you're okay. Actually, they've taken some white people too, because they're actually going against the people who are, I can't remember what their title is, but they're training them as observers. You know, they're watchers of ICE and taking pictures and taking video footage. Craig says ICE is for people too stupid to be cops and too chicken beep to join the military. That's probably true. Or they've just got a lot of aggression. And I think that many of them are like 3%ers and Proud Boys and, you know, the guys carrying the torches and where was that? Charlottesville, etc. Okay. That's all that I have on ICE, but if you have any more, feel free to throw them in. And I'm going to move on. Oh, okay. Oh, I think I said that already. Well, but let's ask that question again. I think I asked it a little differently. Niver asks, will Hegseth be charged with war crimes? Will Hegseth be charged with war crimes? That's a big 10-4. That's a yes. Okay. He will be charged with war crimes. I'm going to ask this question really quickly. Will Hegseth leave? Will he leave in 2026? Yes. Okay. All right. I haven't asked that question yet, Ness. Okay. ICE equals ISIS. I like that. I will say one more thing about ICE. I saw rumors that kids of ICE members are doxing. The children are doxing their dads. It's mostly dads. I guess there are a few women too, on things like TikTok and Instagram and so forth, which is kind of wild. Craig says, one guy in my Model A car club wanted so much to join ICE. He keeps talking about it, but his 72 out of shape and just hateful. Well, hateful is, I thought that was a prerequisite. Okay. Higher realms. Will ICE do door-to-door raids on every home in every state, like JD said a few days ago? Will ICE do? Oh, what? Okay. Let me ask that again. Will it be in every state? It looks way out, but it's barely. Okay. On many states? Oh, God. Okay. Guys, go online too. There is that you can see that there's like language where you can say, you know, you have to show a judicial warrant or search warrant that includes your name and your address. And that's all you have to say to them, and then you close your door. So, yes, in the United States of America. Look at us. Aren't we proud? Let me make sure I didn't miss any quick ones. Okay, higher realms. I got your question about JD, and we got. Okay. I'll go to Nessa's question real quickly about will Trump be, this is jumping ahead a little bit, but will Trump be president on December 31st, 2026? And I'm already hearing the answer in my head. Will Trump be president on December 31st, 2026? No. Like I said, I think it's gonna the things are gonna start getting really hot March, April timeframe. Oh, this is a great question, Niver, and it's something that I've wondered too. Not only about the ICE agents, but about, I'm kind of wondering about whether any sharpshooters might go after Nome or any of those other anybody else. I'm not advocating violence, but you know, it's that's the world we live in. Will ICE agents be shot by residents by yeah. And we have to be really careful about that because I think they kind of want that because um I think they want to declare martial law before the election, but I don't think he's going to get that far. I don't mean dying necessarily, but okay. All right. Enrique, I have that one too. Okay, Gary, so since we asked the question, will Trump be gone in April 2026? Look at this. It's starting to cross. The tips are starting to cross. So the poop's going to be starting to hit the fan then. That's what I'm picking up. Okay. And while we're on this theme, will Trump try to cancel the elections? I'm going to say I would say, okay, if Trump were around in the fall, will Trump try to cancel the elections? If he were around, would he try to? Yes. Will Trump be around in the fall to cancel the elections? No. Shrinking Trump. Okay, guys, I'm going to move on to Venezuela and all this craziness in the world. It's just pure chaos. Okay, Venezuela. I have a question. I can't remember if I already asked this with you guys, but I want to ask it again with the dowsing rods. Did Maduro make a deal with Trump to extract him from Venezuela? It's weird. That's a yes, but it was a wobbly one. Is it not that simple? Is it not that simple? Yes. Okay. Will Maduro and his wife go to jail? No. Okay. Will he and his wife escape to another country? Yes. Yeah. So again, was Maduro expecting the troops to take him? That's a yes. It just, with him mugging for the camera and all that kind of stuff, he was, posing for pictures with his captors. And I mean, come on. There wasn't enough of a fight. Okay. I think I've asked that question already, but I think Maduro is dealing now. I do too. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask some questions about Russia in a second, Peggy. Thank you. Okay. Greenland. We all want to know. Will Donald Trump and the US of A try to invade Greenland? Yes. Do you see those guys? Do you see how slight I'm hearing like slight incursion, right? And that's what I've always, by the way, always felt about Venezuela. I felt like it was like a quick thing, and it kind of was. I mean, not that we're not running the oil fields and all that kind of stuff, but okay. Will will the U.S. be successful in taking Greenland? No. Will NATO and its allies fight them off? Yes. Oops, no. What? Whoa. Will Greenland itself fight them off? What? That's crazy. So it will be in Greenland. Let me understand this. Will it be Denmark and Greenland? Yes. Okay. Will NATO, let me ask again, will NATO allies assist? Yes. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Now I understand. So it's Greenland and Denmark with the NATO allies. Okay. Um gosh. Uh okay. I'm going to ask that I'll star your question too. Okay. Yeah, something wasn't right about the Maduro extraction. All right. Um, let me ask this question about Greenland. If the U.S. invades Greenland, will this be the end of our membership in NATO? Ugh. Guys, yes, that was a yes. Any other questions concerning that? Hi, Denise. Blessings. Germany already started sending troops, I heard. Yeah, I heard UK as well. So I guess it'll be like a coalition of forces that will fight back. And, I gotta say, I feel really bad for Europe as well, the UK and Western Europe, excuse me, because they're stuck between two really horrendous bullies, between Putin and Donald Trump. Okay. All right. Any other questions about that? Will Canada be attacked by Trump? Let me ask that. Thank you, Fatima. I didn't include Canada, did I? I just never really thought he would do it. Will Canada be attacked by Trump? I'm hearing he wouldn't dare. Okay. Yeah, I feel like when I feel into that energy, I feel like it's not. I feel like he's chicken, or he knows that it's not a good idea. Okay, I'm not finished yet with the line of questioning because I want to go on to Cuba. Will we ever get our good name back in the world? Yes. Okay. Oh, will Donald Trump try to invade Mexico? He's thinking about it. Look at this bubble. He really hates, what's her name? Scheinbaum, or I can't remember. I'm sorry. But the president of Mexico, I feel his hatred for her. Okay. Will Donald Trump invade Cuba? No, I don't think he'll get that far. I also think I think, I think Marco Rubio wants it because that's his homeland and his family was driven out. But Cuba has very close ties to Russia, and I just feel like he wouldn't do it. I may be wrong. Okay. Denise asks, is Trump totally nuts? I mean, come on. Is Donald Trump just completely bonkers off his rocker? Yes. Strong, yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Well, and let's move on to other countries that Trump is kind of threatening, and we'll talk about Iran. So, for those of you who don't know, right now there are big revolts, protests by the people in Iran. And remember that I think it was in the late 70s, early 80s was the Russian Revolution, the Iranian Revolution. And at that time, it was, it was, I will call it a democracy, but women were free to walk around without the hijab. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong too. Um, they had more flexibility. They could go to college. They could do things. And Taliban and the Ayatollahs moved in and really took over. Okay. Yeah, Colombia and Nicaragua will be affected by Venezuelan actions. Oh, okay. I'll ask that question. Oops, I'll ask it when I'll get to that one, Fatima. Okay. Oh, I like your question too, Nibra. Article 25. Yeah. And '79 in Iran. Thank you. Thank you, Craig. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to Iran and ask some questions. And I have starred many of your questions, as many as I've seen, and I will get to those in a sec. And you can add on to this line of questioning too, if you have it. So, hi, Shooting Star. Good to see you. Iran. Will the Iranian government or theocracy, as it were, be overthrown by the people? That's a yes. It kind of moves slowly. So I kind of feel like, is this going to be a civil war in Iran? It's sort of the tips just coming together. Will this be another revolution in Iran? That's a big yes. Okay. So it didn't want to call it a civil war. It's calling it a revolution. So it's really more like the people overthrowing the government. Okay. Versus, left versus right, north versus south. Okay. All right. Will this ultimately lead to the liberation of women in Iran? That's a yes, guys. Will this revolution be resolved in the year 2026? No. Will it be will there be a lot of bloody protests and unrest this year? Yes. Okay. And will Donald Trump stick his nose into the matter and send the military into Iran? Will he send, or will there be military action with the U.S. in Iran? Okay. A smaller yes, but a yes. So maybe some drones or some missiles. Yes. Will this lead to retaliation against the U.S. by Iran? Ay, ay, ay. Will there be an assault on the U.S. on U.S. soil by Iran or any other country? A small yes. It looks smaller than it appears on the screen. I think that might mean some terror cells or activity. I'm sorry, I don't mean to scare people. And hi, Daniel, I got your question. Okay, so Shooting Star asks, will Trump try to take advantage of Iran? Yes. I think he's trying to exact revenge on Iran through its people. Because the irony of ironies, right? He's saying, don't you lay a finger on your people when Trump is assaulting his people, right? Okay, let's see if there are any others. Oh, you're welcome, Denise. That's concerning. Yes, Craig says I'd be very careful of Iran because they have nuclear capability and developing nuclear weapons. Tell it to Trump. Oh, are you trying to say, will they try to take advantage for their oil? Will they try to take advantage of Iran for their oil? Yes. Okay. I'm not feeling they're going to be successful in Iran, though. Anybody else? Okay. Gary, I got your question. So Gary asks, will Israel do an inside job on Iran on the U.S. behalf or on their own? Will Israel get in on the action? Yeah. It's slight. I am also hearing, I don't even know if we're going to know it, but I think they may assist or somehow. I don't know. Okay. Okay. But he says he will tariff anyone who deals with Iran. Does that mean Saudis, as they've been buddies? Okay. Will Trump carry through on his promise to tariff people? Yes. Yes. Will he tariff the Saudi Arabians? Nope. I mean, they're paying the bills, right? Okay. All right. Iran is its own entity. Has Israel been training ICE? Hadn't thought about that. I don't think so because there's such a bumbling group of idiots. Has Israel been training ICE? No. Okay. Will ICE agent? Yeah, I got a yes on that one, Alex. He will be arrested by either Minneapolis or Minnesota and held accountable. Will who be sanctioned because of Venezuela? Okay. Taking the tankers. Okay. On the face of it, no, not successful in Iran. Rods agree. Oh, now. Yeah, you don't think they'll be successful in Iran? No. No. I mean, I think he's spreading our army very thin right now. Okay. Are we ready to move on to Putin? Anybody? Shall we? Okay. And please, and any other questions, it doesn't have to be just about U.S. politics. Yeah. So please add your questions. Okay. You said, Niver said the U.S. because the oil was China and Russia. Oh, I see. Hi, Lynn. Good to see you. How are you? Ask your questions, guys. Okay, so now we're moving on to Putin because now during the last week, Putin, oh, good question, sorry, Fatima. Putin launched a missile toward, sorry, I can't think, toward Ukraine, right near the border of Poland. That came from a nuclear-capable facility, and it was a nuclear-capable type of missile. It wasn't a nuclear weapon itself, as I understand it. But does Putin plan a nuclear attack, or is he planning a nuclear attack in Ukraine? That's a yes. Will he be successful in his nuclear attack in Ukraine? No. No. They say the ETs are going to stop him. Right? Let's hope. Let's hope. Does he plan a nuclear attack anywhere else? Yes. Is he going to be able let's ask the question. Will the ETs Putin, hold nuclear weapons at bay? That's a big yes. You are absolutely right, Niver. Too much every day to keep up with this insanity. Okay. Is the seizing of the Russian oil tanker actually a setup with Russia? I had wondered that too. Okay. Is the seizing of the Russian bound oil tanker actually a setup? There it is. Yes. Because there was something about how they like hoisted the flags like at the last minute or something like that. I didn't really follow it as closely as I should have. Craig, that's a good idea. Stay put. I think anybody who has any, ethnicity, that Hispanic ethnicity or melanin in your skin needs to be careful. Okay. I think everybody needs to be careful. Who am I lying to? I mean, they're just waiting. They're just thugs and they want to do harm. Okay. Let me see if I'm missing any questions. Okay. Hey CJ, will the people of Russia finally rise up in 2026? Oh, it wanted to cross before I even got the question out. I saw somebody else asked if Putin will be leaving the planet in 2026. Close, but not quite. Will he be leaving office in 2026? Yeah. Will there be rebellion in Russia in 2026? Yes. I think, look at the similarities, guys. We have the US, people are standing up and fighting back. We're out in the streets here. Every city, every major city, even small cities, people were out. And I'm tagging your questions as I'm chatting. We see it in Iran. We see it in, I think we've been seeing it in some of the Eastern European countries, Belarus. And the Rods just said we'll see it in Russia soon enough. You're right, Lynn. Renee Good was as white as could be, and that didn't save her. So I think everybody needs to. These guys are just out for blood. They're bloodthirsty. Here's a good question. Shooting Star asks, will Navalny's wife run for president after Putin's removal? Yes. Will she be the next leader of Russia? Will she be the next leader of Russia? Will she be a future leader of Russia? Okay, so maybe not the next one. Okay. Thank you. Yes, the Buddhist peace walks are really, really incredible. So yes, I'd ask, will Netanyahu be leaving in 2026? May as well ask about him too, because I think we're going to be seeing the same revolts in Israel. Okay. Will Netanyahu be leaving in 2026? Yes. And, most of you follow, many of the other psychics, Linda G, Kim Carey of Intuitive View. Everybody has been seeing their fates, the fate of these three horrible leaders, and maybe more, right? Leaving at the same time, kind of leaving around the same time. Yeah, Craig, New Mexico is a blue state as well. But I'm just surprised they haven't been in Denver because we've uh, we've managed to piss off Donald Trump because we have that situation with her name is Tina Peters. So during the 2020 election, she was working with the pillow guy and she was running one of the precincts in a small western area, kind of near where Boebert was from, like mountain area. And she and her cronies, she and pillow guy, tried to steal the voting machines and take them out of the precinct and try to do, tamper with them. Um, and she was caught. Our Secretary of State, who was kind of amazing, caught her and held her responsible, and I believe she's in jail now. And then Trump's been trying to pardon her, but this is a state charge, so he doesn't have any authority there. Okay. All right. Let's ask that. Will a woman be the next Russian leader? I'm getting a no right off the bat. Yeah, let's see. I feel like it's a no. That's a waggle. Isn't that interesting? Okay. All right. 3 big troublemakers. There are more, but okay. You asked that before and the answer was the same. Okay. Thank you. I don't always remember. Okay. No one wants to live under such tyrannical rule in any country. That is why there's an uprising around the world. Yeah, I just think people are waking up. This is the age of Aquarius, and Aquarian energy is revolutionary. It's revolt. It's the power to the people. Okay. What a wonderful world if all 3 were to go. ICE agents are angry and probably psychologically messed up guys who hate the world. I want ICE defunded 100%. Yeah. Well, and we asked this earlier, Lynn. It looks like eventually, I don't know how soon, Congress will defund, will at least, kneecap them. Okay. All right. And I see we have friends from New Zealand and Australia. If you have any other questions about your own countries, put them in Canada as well. Okay. Yeah. Colorado, no pardon. Exactly. Yeah. Sterling said it too. All their timelines are similar. I'm sorry, I'm a little behind on the timeline. Craig says, our governor, Michelle Lujan Grisham, is willing to call out the New Mexico National Guard. Yeah. Well, and that's the Rods said that, well, Walls said he was considering it, and the Rods confirmed that. Okay. The guides / Rods. Craig says if I had money, I would have left the country. I know I might have to go visit my son in the UK and forget to come back. Problem is many of us have ties. We have animals. We have parents. I have an elderly parents here, whatever. Never thought about Portugal. Okay. All right. Italy or France? Canada? Our little sister up to the north, right? I would love to go to Mexico. I know they have their problems too, but okay. All right. Come to New Zealand. I'd love to go to New Zealand. One day we will come. We'll all come. What's your address, Susan? We're showing up. Craig says his daughter doesn't want to leave Denver. And Denver is where I live. It is a very livable city because, as many of you know, I've considered moving back east to be closer to my kids. But it's so. I know people don't believe this, but our climate is really good here. It's very, very nice. Okay, I'm going to ask some of the questions that I've starred from from the chat and see. Let's see. I saw a person said something of this peaceful. He said, time to bring out the guns. Oh my God, he was angry. Did you see it? No, okay, sorry, that wasn't a question, but I agree. I think people are going to start, I think the people are going to start doing this, and they're going to have to be careful. Like I said, they want martial law, and that would be a bad thing. Oh, Gina, we're all going to go to your grandmother's house in Italy. Can I come? Fun. Okay. It doesn't snow in Denver like it used to. No, I mean, we hardly get any snow anymore. The mountains are suffering too. Okay. Do we see an epidemic coming to the world this year? So that looks like a big no, but it's actually just a very slight no. I think what it's saying is, are we going to have some small, outbreaks of things? Okay, yes. Like the flu. Oh, that's a yes. Guys, be careful because the flu is really getting people this year. Other respiratory illnesses, yes. Okay. So they're not necessarily like pandemic level, but they're just bad. They're just going around. Okay. Let me make sure. Lynn says she would go to Mexico too, but your husband doesn't want to go. I'll go. He lived there a couple of years. I have too. His experience was so. Yours was great. Yeah. I would be happy to go. Okay. All right. You're in Wellington, the capital, Susan says. Okay. I've always wanted to go to New Zealand because you've got the mountains and the sea, and I think my sister went last year. She loved it. Okay. Gina says, my hubby just showed me a clip of T giving an auto worker the finger for calling him a pedophile protector. I mean, how about calling him what he is a pedophile? Because I'm going to move on in a moment to this stuff with Sasha Riley. Write the name down, Sasha Riley. And it's kind of hard to find. But if you're on Substack, I think it's going to come out more broadly, but right now you can find all of the taped transcripts of a conversation with, it's under the account of Lisa Noel Voldang, and I'm gonna post them right here. Excuse me. Just so you can look them up. It's not for the faint of heart. Some of this stuff it is really, really sick and sadistic stuff. Gina, thank you. All are welcome to Grandma's. I'll start the water for the homemade pasta. Her name was Gina too. Okay, nice. Yes. Oh, whooping cough is bad here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Amanda had the flu, 6-week recovery. Don't recommend it. Yeah. I didn't have the flu, but I had that respiratory thing. And oh my God, I coughed for like almost 2 months. Okay, sorry. Let's get back to your questions again. So thank you. We asked the question about an epidemic. I think it's epidemic versus pandemic. There are things going around for sure. Okay. Will there be a major event this year where our internet will shut down across the country? Will there be a nationwide internet outage in the US? Okay, they're not settling. So what I want to ask is, and I'm sorry, I have to lower this and I'm going to take your question down. Okay, will there be, excuse me, will there be I'm going to slide over here a little bit. Will there be some widespread internet outages in the US? That's a yes. Okay. So it may not be nationwide, but widespread. And will these be caused by cyber attacks? A little bit. Some be caused by errors? Yes. Will some be caused by, fluctuations in the like solar flares or whatever? Solar flares? Yes. Oh, that was a big one. Okay, that one's bigger. Okay. So good question. Thank you, Gina. Gary for Grace. Please, when will Iran be free? Now, whens are hard anyway, but especially with dowsing rods. Okay. I think we already got this. I don't think it'll be this year, but let's ask again. Will Iran be free this year? Will they have free and fair elections this year? That's a no. Will they happen in 2027? Yes. Okay. So next year. And I feel like it's earlier in the year. Yes, shooting star. That stuff is very, very, very disturbing. So I put it up above. You can see my question. It says, oh, hold on. I had to open my door. I guess my husband, he's taking a shower. So if you hear something, it's the shower going. I'll make sure he doesn't walk in here and become embarrassed. Okay. Yeah, very disturbing information. And I put it up in the chat, Lisa, Noel, Voldang, and I will put it in the comments after this because it is very damning stuff, like directly against Donald Trump. And this guy suggests that Trump was the ringleader and Epstein did his bidding. Who knows? They do have, he says he does have video footage and photography and stuff like that. He was a young boy he was being trafficked very young. Okay. Oh, the Post. There was an article by the Post about this Sasha Riley guy. Oh, or is that something else? Okay. All right. More questions. Let's see. I think I've asked all these. Will Hegseth help or Russia? Let me just see. Oh, okay. Craig asks, did Trump really want the new president of Venezuela to give him or her Nobel Peace Prize medal? Okay, let me just say, it wasn't the new president, the vice president who's now in charge. It was the woman that ran against Maduro and he cheated to win. Okay. So I don't recall her name. Did he really want that Nobel Peace Prize? Yeah. What a baby. What a man baby. He wants a participation prize. I will ask. That's a good question, Higher Realms. I will ask that question. Yes, Lynn, he was the one that was trafficked at 6 years old. And his father was Epstein's pilot and flew kids and very rich people all around to various places for them. You're traveling to Nigeria and don't want to be bombed. I think you're going to be okay. Yes, exactly. He was the pilot. Okay. I'm going to move. Okay. You love Spain too. My son has spent some time in Spain because his girlfriend's family has a place in Mallorca. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm getting all the questions. Sorry. Oh, good question. Once Trump is gone, we've asked this before, but once he's gone, will Vance take over? Will Vance take over? Look at this. What do you think this means, guys? The ever so slightest cross. That means briefly or barely or something like that. Maria Machado. Thank you, Lynn Leclerc. Yeah, that was the woman who is supposedly going to give him. Yeah, we did talk about Greenland already. Okay. Yes, but not for long. And I've heard other psychics say that as well. Vance will take over for 2 minutes. And I feel like I feel like this stuff that's coming forward, by the way, some of this Epstein stuff feels like it's converging with the Jack Smith information, and it's going to be all over. It's just going to be like people are going to. That's when, as Linda G says, that's when the rats will jump the ship. Will they use Article 25 to remove Donald Trump? Look at that. I just heard in my head they won't have to. They won't have to, because I think he's gonna shimmy on his own. Because I wondered that too. I feel like it's one of two things. Now, this is a tough one. Okay, I think I just said it. I think it's going to be either what will stop Trump. It's either going to be, I think it's going to be a combination of Epstein, this Sasha stuff, which involves Epstein, of course, Sasha Riley, and the Jack Smith testimony. Because Jack Smith was just scheduled to testify publicly. I think next week. Anybody have a date? I think it's like the 20th or the 22nd. Okay. Very interesting. The astrology is interesting around that time too. Okay. Will we see, I have other questions, so I'm sorry I'm jumping ahead. Will we see a Newsom Buttigieg ticket with Kamala Harris as AG? Will we see a Newsom Buttigieg ticket? Not quite. I feel like some of those names are correct. Will we see Newsom on the ticket? Let's ask separately. Yes. Will we see Buttigieg on the ticket? Maybe not. Like, not this time around. Will Kamala Harris be AG? No. You think Trump doesn't like you, John? I wonder why. He doesn't like anybody. All right. Daniel asked the question. Sorry, I will come back to that other question. Daniel asks, will RFJ be exiting government this year as well? Good question. We didn't talk about any of that stuff. Will RFJ be exiting government this year as well? Yes. Will the whole Donald Trump regime be cleared out this year? That's a yes. Okay. Here's a question. Is drinking back in vogue again? There we go. Out. They say people's alcohol consumption is way down. Younger people are choosing to drink less and so forth. I also wonder if the GLP-1s are affecting that, because they say it diminishes desire for anything. Okay. And CJ, I got your question, but I'm going to take these in order. I think I'm really close. Okay. Good question, Peggy. Thank you. Will we ever find out Trump and Putin are working together and be held for treason. I think it's going to be posthumous for both of them, maybe. Certainly for Trump. Okay, that's a yes. That was an easy yes. Okay, got some. I'm seeing some good questions, and I'm starring them. Yeah, Enrique, I think Kamala is done. Will Stephen Miller? I got that question. Okay. They're smoking weed instead. Who? All of them? Okay. Is Sasha telling the truth? Okay. Let me just go back to that story really quickly, just to fill you guys in. If you go to the Substack, find Lisa Noel Voldang, whose name I put in the chat. So scroll up and find it. She interviews very much at length. Oops. Sorry, I just deleted her name by accident. She interviews at length this gentleman named Sasha Riley. He's now like early 50s, but he was in the military as a young child. He was adopted by Epstein's pilot, the man who became Epstein's pilot. His mother and father were both sadistic and assaulted him sexually from the time, he said the first time he remembers was around 5 or 6, and they would traffic him around family members. So disgusting stuff. And then he becomes Epstein's pilot, and then it ramps up to these massive parties that were sadistic. Trump, he said he watched Trump killing puppies, and he wanted to kill a human, but they only let him kill a puppy. This is what the footage says. So, and some other very, very sadistic stuff. He was sexually assaulted, he says, by Donald Trump himself. And then he did something really kind of crazy to badly injure Donald Trump. But you'll have to listen yourself. Okay. Have you asked, okay, is Sasha telling the truth about these stories? Yes. If you listen to him, he doesn't sound like he's making things up, because he's like, I'm not really sure about that timing, but I know this person came in. And let me just tell you once again, the cast of characters is long. It's Jim Jordan. He remembers him very clearly. He remembers Andy Biggs. He's a congressperson from Arizona. It is Clarence Thomas. It is Donald Trump. It is Lindsey Graham. These are names people that he named in this testimony. So guys, watch out. I hope he's got protection. Thank you. Hi, Kendra. Good to see you. Yeah, I wouldn't put anything past him either. Okay, so it says he is telling the truth. I'm going to ask another question before I ask this one, CJ. Sorry to put you off. Will this testimony by Sasha Riley come out into the public? Will it come out into the public? Yeah. But you see how slowly it kind of was like, will it come out in the next 3 months? Yes. Okay, there we go. Any other questions about that? Pop them in. Will the court case in Pennsylvania by Election Truth Alliance, will it be successful and cause a domino effect before the end of 2026? Will the court case in Pennsylvania about the election, fraud and inconsistencies, whatever, irregularities, will they win this case? Look at that, guys. I was not really sure about that one. Will this open the door for other states to look at their election results? Yes. Okay. Good question. Thank you. All good questions. Will we see Tallarico on the ticket with Newsom? And Tallarico, I think, is a congressman, a state congressman from Texas, but he's been kind of making the public scene. Okay. Will we see him on Tallarico on the ticket with Newsom? No. Will he be making, maybe he is right now, will he be making a run for federal office? Yes. Okay. That's right. They call themselves Christians, and they talk about that in these tapes too. They're just really sick, demented people. Okay. Will Sasha's information be verified through credible news outlets? Yes. Okay. Because they say they actually have footage and stuff like that. Let's see. Good question. Lynn, when Jack Smith testifies publicly, will he tell more about the story? When he testifies publicly, yes. Okay, I don't even think he has to. I just think he's just, it's kind of like just the facts, but that's all he has to say, right? Look, Kitty's here. Come on, Kitty. Kitty butt. Uh-oh. Okay. It's going to be hard to do dowsing rods with a cat on my shoulder, but we're getting close. All right. Will Stephen Miller be removed? I'm going to do it with my hands like this. Okay. Will Stephen Miller be removed? Oh, sorry. The cat did that. Will Stephen Miller be removed in 2026? Well, I think they all will be. I feel like Stephen Miller is, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was involved in some of that sadistic nonsense. Let's see. Are there still credible news outlets? That is funny. Yes. Will there be talk about treason? Yeah. I think with the Jack Smith testimony, there will be treason charges that will come up. Sorry. Okay. Will there be treason charges against Donald Trump? I think that's a yes. I think particularly related to the documents. The documents in his, they found in his social club. Yeah, some social club. In his bathroom, in his gilded bathroom, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, any other questions for me? Pat the cat on his back. He's a good kitty. Okay. Oh, good question about ETs. Will ETs interfere and prevent a major war? Well, I think I asked that question earlier. Will ETs interfere and prevent a major war? A nuclear war is what I'd asked before. That's a yes. Okay. All right. So for selling our secrets. Yeah, I think that they've given, secrets about strategy, about weaponry, about, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they sold our personal information that he and Musk stole, right? Enrique, thank you for asking. He is doing fantastic. My son in the UK is doing great. He and his girlfriend they've been staying with her parents they live near Birmingham, England, which is about an hour and a half north of London. And so they're going down to London this weekend. They're going to Airbnb for a few weeks looking, actually apartment shopping. Flat hunting. Okay. CJ, will Trump continue to destroy the White House? Ugh. I get pictures of like having to fumigate the place. And by the way, okay, before I go on, this is kind of rude, but there are stories about how Donald Trump has incontinence issues, right? Has to wear his diaper Don. One of the stories that this young gentleman Sasha tells would perhaps explain some of the reasons why he has to wear diapers. He's incontinent because the kid, let's put it this way, he shoved something where the sun don't shine with force to get away from him. Okay, sorry, that's really gross. Like I told you, this is not for the weak of heart, right? The faint of heart. All right. Will Trump continue to destroy the White House? Oh gosh, I didn't even want to wait. Look at that. Yeah, UK is on the downslide too. Susan, yeah, they're having some trouble too. Okay, will Donald Trump run to Saudi Arabia? Will he run to Saudi Arabia? It's interesting. Is his plan to run to Saudi Arabia? Yes. Will he be successful in running to Saudi Arabia? No. Because I don't see him being able to go. I feel like he's going to be stopped. I always see him with soldiers. They kind of look like the ICE agents, but they're people in black uniforms and handcuffs. Okay. James Carville said, I guess I need my glasses again. Last night, his sources say Cheeto smells like an old rump roast. I think that's being too kind, honestly. Yeah, Enrique, oh my God, is right. Yes. So if you choose to listen to these tapes, you'll see it's grisly stuff. Will Jonathan, I did ask that question, Crystal Blue. Hey, it says yes by either Minneapolis or Minnesota. I don't know if it's a state or a city charge. Are they angel? Thank you. Thank you for bringing that beautiful question in, Gina. I think the answer is yes. Are there angels protecting us right now? A very big definitive yes. And I mean, I want to remind everybody that all of the chaos right now is the death throes, right? And it's also the birth process of a new way, right? So it's difficult. It's painful. Okay. Handcuffed would be great. It seems that all these predictions are informed by political bias. They maybe, but I kind of feel like we see the writing on the wall. Ambient night day. Trump is rotting from the inside out. I mean, yeah, I've never believed the Secret Service, law enforcement would allow it or continue. Yeah, I always kind of feel like there's this kind of underlying force that we don't see, maybe from out of the country. Craig says, "Love hurts," in Trump's case. Well, apparently, it says that he was very, very sadistic. He wanted, and you can see it now. He wants to hurt people. This young man's, or now he's an adult. This is Sasha Riley's testimony. Okay. Will we ever have gun control, Peggy? Will we ever have gun control? Will we ever have gun control? Yes. I don't feel like it's going to be very soon, but I feel like it will happen. Thank you, Denise. You are so sweet. I'm happy to do it. Will Melania be charged with any crimes? Oh, That's a good. I have some questions too. Will Melania be charged with any crimes? Look at that. Now that surprised me. Will Melania have been found? Oh, okay. Will Wolf win his lawsuit? Michael Wolf win his lawsuit against Melania? Yes. Will Melania have been found to have been brought in uh, as a Russian agent? What? Look at that. Okay. Oh gosh, it's all seedy. I'm so sorry. We're all gonna have to go take a shower and use our sage. I have some sage spray right here. I'm gonna use that. This is my Archangel Michael spray. Okay. Oh, that's a good question. Was she trafficking children? Was Melania trafficking children? Oh, what? It's saying yes. Was she involved with, so Erica Kirk apparently has been like booted out of Romania for her involvement in an orphanage. So was Erica Kirk involved in trafficking? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is there no end to the depravity? Did I see Nikki Glaser at the Golden Globes? I didn't watch the Golden Globes. I saw some of what they were wearing. Wow, guys. Okay. All right. Man, I think we all need to go take a really hot shower and get out your sage, because I feel like this next couple of months are going to be really, really like chaotic to try to keep everything under I'll keep a lid on everything. Okay. Hi, Mary Starshine. And it's going to be cuckoo. And then it's going to be like everything's going to be out in the open. Time to pray. Yeah. Let's all do that. Right. What did you said? You didn't finish, Kelly. I put it there for you. I'm sorry. What did you say? I missed it. Oh, I see. America's newest place to CBS. Oh yeah. See, ha ha ha. CBS. Got it. I think Nikki Glasser or whatever her name is funny. But I'll have to go watch some of the highlights. Okay, well, Crystal Blue, I'm going to ask you a question because I'm wondering about that myself. Yes, will there be a stock market crash I'm going to say the first quarter of this year? I kind of feel, has anybody seen like the price of silver is like through the roof? Through the roof. So guys, I mean, just brace for impact. Yes, brace for impact. Protect your money. Put some under the mattress. Get some cash at the ATM. Yeah. The rumors are that they might be trying to convert us from the gold standard to digital. I don't know. I know nothing about it. I'm just going to go along with I'm going to breathe. I'm going to go along, right? Amanda says, I just lit some Palo Santo. Going to take Jack for a walk. Okay. With that, thank you guys. I do appreciate everybody joining me, and we're going to hope for the best. Send your questions if you have others. And I really do appreciate everyone here. Thank you for joining me. And we're all going to say a collective prayer for all the humans on this planet right now, and that we may all be protected by angels. Most of us, anyway. Thank you. Bye-bye.